sorry, you don't qualify. That's 4 words that most people get when they apply for a mortgage and something doesn't check out. No explanation, no direction, no hope, just no. I talk to people every week who've been through this. They sat across from someone at their bank or a credit union, and maybe they've been there for 15 years and walked out feeling like their dream of home ownership was over, like they failed some test nobody told them they were taking. I had a client tell me that it felt like a pass-fail test where I failed and nobody told me how to pass next time. That's not how this should work, and honestly, it doesn't have to. I'm Dustin Hutley with Envoy Mortgage, and today I'm going to show you something that most loan officers won't. The approval plan I create for every single person I work with, including the ones who don't qualify yet. Because here's what I believe, you're not denied, you're on a path. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what that path looks like. Let me tell you why most lenders don't do this and why it costs people years of their lives. The mortgage industry is built on volume. Big banks, online lenders, they process thousands of applications. Their job is to sort people into 2 piles, approved and denied. If you land in the denied pile, you're just done. You're not their problem anymore. But here's what that misses. Most people who get denied aren't permanently disqualified. They're not broken. They're usually dealing with 1 or 2 specific issues that can absolutely be fixed with the right plan in place and the right timeline. Maybe their credit score is 40 points too low. Maybe their debt to income ratio is just over the limit. Maybe they're self-employed and their income was documented wrong. These aren't dead ends, these are detours. The problem is nobody shows you the map. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is an actual approval plan with names and details changed, obviously, that I created for a real client. When this person came to me, they'd already been denied by 2 other lenders and were convinced homeownership wasn't in the cards for them. Here's what I saw instead. Element number 1, the honest assessment. First, I break down exactly where they stand right now. Not sugar-coated, not vague, the actual numbers. In this case, credit score was 598. They needed 620 for the loan program that fit their situation. Debt to income was at 48%. They needed to get to a 45%. And they had a collection account from 3 years ago that needed to be addressed. See how specific that is? There's no mystery here. We're not guessing. We know exactly what the gap is. Element 2, the action items. Next, I list out exactly what needs to happen in order to close those gaps. For this client, the action items were, number 1, pay down the credit card balance from $4,200 to under $1,500. This alone would add about 30 points to their score. Number 2, settle the old collection account. I connected them with a credit specialist who negotiates these for deletion, not just paid status. 3, hold off on the car loan they were thinking about buying. That new payment would have pushed their debt to income ratio over the edge. And number 4, add a small credit builder loan to diversify their credit mix. Sounds counterintuitive, but it actually helps. Element 3, the timeline. And here's the part that changes everything. The timeline, not someday, not when you're ready, actual dates. For this client, month 1 through 2, credit card paid down and collection settlement initiated. Month 3, credit builder loan established, first score recheck. Month 4, collection deletion confirmed, second score recheck, target 620 or above. Month 5, full application submission, pre-approval issued. Month 6 through 7, house hunting and offer and then closing. That's not a maybe, that's not we'll see. That's a plan with checkpoints, expectations, and a finish line they could actually see. Let me tell you about someone who went through this exact process, and I want you to hear this because it might sound familiar. This was a friend of mine actually before he became a client. When I first talked to him, his credit was in the low 400. He had some mistakes from years ago, medical debt that went to collections, a credit card that got away from him during a tough stretch. He'd been told so many times he'd basically given up on ever owning a home. We sat down and create a plan for him, not a quick fix, it's a real plan. And I was honest with him, this was going to take time. We were looking at about 2 years of focused work. Some people would hear 2 years and just walk away, but he didn't. Because for the first time, someone showed him that 2 years wasn't a maybe, it was a map. We checked in every few months, adjusted the plan when things changed, celebrated the wins, like when his score crossed 600 for the first time, then 650 and then 700. 2 years later, he closed on his first home. But here's the part that really matters. He didn't stop there. That same person who was told he'd never qualify now owns 4 investment properties. 4. He and his family are now building generational wealth. The kind of wealth that gets passed down, and it started with one thing, someone showing him the path instead of just closing the door. I want to be real with you about why I do this because it's not the way most of my industry works, and that's not a reason. And there's a reason for that. Creating these plans take time. It takes follow-up. It means investing in people who might not close a loan with me for a year or two. From a pure numbers standpoint, it's not the most efficient way to run a mortgage business. But here's what I've learned. Efficiency isn't why I got into this. I got into this because I believe home ownership changes families. I believe building equity instead of paying rent is one of the most powerful wealth building tools that people have access to. And I believe everyone deserves someone in their corner who will show them how to get there, even if the path isn't instant. Now, let me break down what this looks like in practice, because not everyone's situation is the same, and the plan has to match where you actually are. Path 1. Ready now. Some people come to me already in great shape. Good credit, stable income, money saved. Their plan is simple. Let's get you approved this week and start shopping. And the timeline is about 1 to 2 weeks to approval, then however long it takes to find the right home. Path 2, almost ready. This is probably the biggest group because you are close but have 1 or 2 things to clean up. Maybe credit needs a small boost. Maybe they need to save another few thousand for closing costs. Maybe there's a documentation issue with their income. Timeline, usually 3 to 6 months with a focused plan. Path 3, building toward ready. And these are the people who need more significant work. Major credit repair, debt pay down, building savings from scratch. These are the people most lenders won't even talk to. But here's what I know. Many of these people become the best clients I'll ever have because they're committed. They follow the plan. And when they finally get those keys, they never forget what it took to get there. Timeline, 12 to 24 months, sometimes longer, but with a clear plan the whole way. No matter which path you're on, the first step is the same. We figure out where you are right now. Honestly, completely, no judgment, just clarity. So if you've been told no before, you're not done. You're on a path. You just need someone to show you the map. If you've been afraid to even ask because you think you'll be judged, I need you to know that's not how I work. I've helped people with credit in the 400s. I've helped people who had zero idea where to start. The only thing I judge is whether you're willing to do the work. And if you've been telling yourself next year for longer than you can admit, maybe it's time to stop guessing and actually find out where you stand. If you're open to it, I would love to sit down with you through a discovery call where we can take a look at your complete picture. And I'll tell you honestly, are you ready now? Are you almost ready? Or do we need to build a plan to get you there? Either way, you'll walk away knowing exactly what your path looks like. If you haven't done so already, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.